1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out there in Banjo Land, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I've got my last new banjo lesson for 2021, Joy to the World. 2021 was a very interesting year to say the least, but I still have a lot to be grateful for. I wanted to personally thank everyone out there in Banjo Land who supported me this year, wrote a nice message saying the lessons were helpful. I really appreciate it. It really kept me going, and I can't thank you enough. I've got a lot more lessons planned for 2022, so stay tuned. So for this lesson, Joy to the World, we're going to do it in the key of G, and I've got two solos worked up, one starting down the neck, and then a fancier up the neck solo that I had a lot of fun playing. This is going to be a great lesson to work on playing that classic melody, but also working on some new rolls that really bring out that first string, because a lot of the melody of this song is going to be on the first string. And if you're a beginner, maybe beginner intermediate player, maybe you're used to playing melodies more on the third and second string or fourth string, but in this lesson we're going to get some really good practice playing melodies on the first string, which is really important, especially if you start going up the neck. You have to use the first string a lot more to play your melodies. I'm going to break down both solos, two solos, note for note, exactly like I played at the beginning. I'll show you all my left hand and right hand fingerings, everything you need to learn to play the solos, and then we'll do some easy kind of back up down the neck and then some vamping back up just to get you moving around the neck a little bit for some backup practice. All right, let's break down Joy to the World in the key of G. All right, so let's start breaking down this first solo to Joy to the World in the key of G. So let's start by breaking down the first 5 measures, which will be like the opening melody line. We'll break it down a phrase at a time, and we'll break it down note for note. Let's jump into the first 5 measures. Here we go. A few times. Do it a little faster, and then I'll do it slow. I'll do it really slow. So measure 1 is going to be a pickup, and we're basically going to use our ring finger, middle finger, and index finger to kind of keep us in position. So we're going to take our ring finger and we're going to slide it from 2 to 4 on the 3rd string, and then play the 3rd fret 2nd string, and then 2nd fret 1st string. And the count is 1, B1 is a rest, and then you have 2 and 3, 4. So 1, 2, and 3, 4. We're going to get our pinky eventually up to this 5th fret, and we're going to walk down these notes. So that's kind of why we want to stay in this shape. That's why we're using those fingers like that. So we have 1. So that's what you want to practice there. We're getting up to this 5th fret with your pinky. So 1. Don't slide too fast, but you've probably done these slides before. Pretty easy. And then the opening measure and melody is basically a scale. It's just the G major scale with a rhythm. So the normal G major scale is. And if we add the rhythm, opening melody to Joy to the World. So this is a great demonstration. I always use this for beginners as well to illustrate the importance of rhythm, right? Because playing the exact same pitches without the rhythm just sounds like a descending scale. If you add the rhythm, right, we have Joy to the World. So remember, the melody consists of two elements, pitch and rhythm. A lot of people focus on just the pitch and they forget about the rhythm, but you can see from that example, if you have all the correct pitches but don't have the right rhythm, it's still not going to sound like the melody. Add the rhythm and you get the melody. So remember, pitch plus rhythm equals melody, I guess you could say. So that's the opening melody line. We're just taking those notes and adding a rhythm. And what we're going to do is basically imply that melody with a Scruggs style solo. So what we're going to do is use one of my favorite rolls for playing on the first string, for playing melodies on the first string. It's the opposite of the forward reverse roll, a very common roll you probably know. You can call it the reverse forward roll or the backward forward roll, whatever you want to call it. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to go M-I-T, so backwards. In this instance I'm going to do, let's just do the right hand for a second. I'm going to do strings 1, 3, and 5. So I go backwards, and then instead of hitting the 5th string like I would in a forward reverse roll, right? Now I'm going to hit the 1st string again. And then I go forward, 5, 3, 1, 5. So you get a roll you can loop. And you can see I'm hitting the 1st string 3 times in that roll, so it's a very good roll to play a melody on the 1st string. So it's basically a forward reverse roll inverted, so I call it the reverse forward roll. Another one that works good is just the straight reverse roll. We're going to do that later in the lesson. That's one Scruggs used a lot in like Home Sweet Home and songs like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pinky on the 5th fret and we're going to do that roll. And then switch to the 4th fret with our ring finger. And then roll forward and go down to the 2nd fret. So, and then hit the 5th string. So you have... Keep your left hand stretched out so you're not jumping around too much. And the other thing I'm doing there is, we'll get the roll down first, but the other thing I'm doing is accenting my middle finger so that melody pops out. A little faster. That's one of my favorite rolls. So let's put that together. We have... Right here, instead of playing the open 1st string, which you could do, what we're going to do is we're going to grab that note on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, same pitch, and we're going to continue that forward roll crossing from measure 2 into measure 3. So we're going to play index middle with that 3rd fret down, and then another forward roll, 5, 2, 1, 5th string, and then down to the 1st fret and pinch. So you have... really good lesson to practice your accenting. So in the measure 2, I'm accenting my middle finger, and then right here I switch to accenting my index finger. So you have... And then just a little ending lick, 2/4 slide, alternating thumb roll on the 3rd string. And then you just walk it down. So you slide up, and then just go back to the 2nd fret. So what are we doing there? Remember, the melody is... So the only thing we did is we substituted those open strings for closed notes. So that's pretty much what we're doing there. And then we're just spicing it up with some Scruggs style licks. String open, and then pinch the outside strings, and then a 2/4 slide with a forward roll, 3, 2, 1, 5 are the strings. which is going to get us into our C chord next. That's kind of rolling up into a C. That's what we're going to do there. So let's practice that a few times. Not too hard. I think you can get it with some practice. If you skip the pickup, you could actually loop measures 2 through 5 and just make that a little exercise. And then in measure 4 too, I didn't say this, but we're accenting our thumb. So really good accenting practice, because measure 2 we're accenting our middle finger of our right hand. Measure 3 we're accenting our index finger of our right hand. Measure 4 and into measure 5 we're accenting our thumb. So really good practice just accenting different fingers. One more time. Melody would go back up to the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and then 4th fret, and then 5th fret. So we kind of walk down those notes and then kind of go back up. So what we're going to do there is use that reverse forward roll, this time on a C chord. Only difference is we're going to use the 2nd string instead of the 3rd string. So you have... That's just the right hand. So now add the C. That roll too, because you can just loop it, and then what we're going to do is just take that up and slide it up to a D, and then put our pinky down on the 5th fret of the 1st string and play that note, and then pinch, and then a backwards pull off lick. So you have... Let's put it together with measure 5, it'll make more sense. So you have... like a partial C chord, right? This is a partial D. It's that chord. I'm just keep moving my C up with the same fingers. That just feels easier for me. And then we're back to G. Okay, so not too hard. Let's play that 5 through the beginning of 9 again. Accenting my middle finger on that reverse forward roll. The other thing I might do is experiment with my right hand tone a little bit, so I might sweeten that up, that C and the D. It's just personal preference. I might move my hand up very slightly, so maybe I do something like... See how I kind of went forward on the C? And then back. That's just personal preference, but I like that sweeter sound on the C rather than the very harsh, or the harsher by the bridge. But totally personal preference there. What I would just practice is experimenting, moving your hand around. Remember, this is like your voice. So where you have a range of tones. So if you're always just planted in the same spot, it's kind of like speaking in a monotone. So what you want to practice is moving your hand around and mixing that tone up. That's going to make your playing more expressive. And then a forward roll, 5, 3, 1, 5. And then hit the 5th string, or 5th fret, 1st string, excuse me, 5th fret, 1st string. So you have... And that's going to start the next melody.